Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to today's talk with Esmeralda. We're going to be going over a story. We're going to be diving into what has been really exciting in her world, how she said yes to herself, how she originally came to the conclusion she needed to get some help and get some help around her situation, where she was at, what was going on, drop some weight, and learn actual nutrition stuff. So we are going to be getting this thing going. I'm getting her on board. Invite her in here. And then get things going. So I'm really excited about Esmeralda. We've known each other for a little while. There she is. I'm going to approve, and off we're going to get going. With Esmeralda's efforts. So, I've talked about it with Dana, and it's been just fantastic. Hello, Esmeralda. How are you?
Brian. Hey, doing great. How about you?
Wonderful. Doing so good. I stepped away from my kids, and this is like a prime time, like kid activity at house. So I had to escape and go off to a Starbucks and just kind of hang out and chat with you and everyone else here. So really excited to have you on. Really excited to hear your story and what's transpired over the last since we met and what we've done together with our work, and more importantly, your work. Right, you're the one that was doing it all, and I was just here helping out. So let's start if we can rewind way back. If you can put yourself in those boots per se of you're like, you know what, like I need some help. Like I can't take it any longer. Like I'm done with this. Let's talk about. Let's start there, and then we kind of just keep letting this story unfold.
Yeah, well, first, good evening, everyone. Brian, thanks for the opportunity to share my story with everyone. And so to start, I had come to a point where I had started a role with my company that was taking me to a lot of different locations. So I was on the road a lot. And up until then, I wasn't one that said, okay, I was doing exercise regularly. Not really. I wasn't one that was watching my food. Over time, I would say, okay, this doesn't fit well. Maybe I'll try something that my coworker is doing it. And I did. At one point, I remember trying the South Beach diet, and was able to see a little weight come off. But then a couple months later, gained it all right back. And I knew in that current time, with the work that I was doing, I put on 15 pounds in a year. And I knew at the beginning of last year, when I connected with you, that this was not going to be the way that I wanted to continue. Number one, because it wouldn't allow me to do my job. I had to be one that had to be very agile, always on the go. And I clearly remember one time where I had a very short connection at an airport, and I tried to get there as fast as I could. And I just remember finally sitting down on my seat, and I was just huffing and puffing and just completely tired. And I knew that just even to be able to continue to do what I was doing, it would not be possible unless I made a change. Right, and that's so what prompted us to reach out to you. Absolutely. And I knew that this time it wasn't just going to read something online or watching something that a friend recommended. I knew this time I needed some professional help. And I knew also that I needed the accountability. because I was going to continue to do a type of work where I thought, well, gosh, if I'm not able to exercise on a regular basis and really know what I should be eating when I'm not traveling, how am I going to do this when I've got such a lifestyle that has me in all different places and also in different places around the world where I have time zone changes, where food options are different. So I knew this time something had to be different.
So great. If you'd like to share maybe where some of the places you were visiting and what some of the cultural, I remember we originally talked to some of the cultural stuff, especially around food and what the customs were. So a little bit different than the U.S., which is fine.
Yeah, so I was traveling up and down the Americas. So I went as far south as Argentina. I was in Brazil a lot, also in Mexico and other parts of Central America. So a lot of it was culturally, people eat at different times of the day. And so in some countries, there was a lot of meat-heavy dishes, very heavy meals, a lot of starches. I remember one of our first meetings, I said, Ryan, have you ever heard of this type of root vegetable? And I said, well, how many carbs is that? I said, I have no idea. It's really good and I love it. But I didn't realize until we looked that up that, wow, this tiny little piece of cheese bread it was that I really enjoyed had a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
And it was very eye-opening to me that no wonder I was gaining so much weight so quickly, because I was eating things that I didn't know just started to add up so quickly.
Right.
And on top of that, with taking the red-eye flights, I remember I would get on the plane, I was just like, I got so hungry, and I wanted to, they served dessert, and I said, yes, I want that. And would you like this? Yes. And so not even knowing that just those types of habits that I had developed unknowingly were also contributing to that weight gain that all of a sudden just crept up. And so I would say what you helped me to do was, number one, realize that yes, I can live a healthy lifestyle, and not only that, but I can lose the weight, which I thought was not possible to do.
Right.
You definitely walked me through the journey of first teaching me about food. I thought, well, I've read a lot of things. I thought, yeah, I know what healthy is, right? It's some vegetables. It's cutting out some
clean eating, right?
Yeah.
So you wash your food before you eat it, right?
Yeah, it's like, I'm eating healthy. If I go to, buy something organic, that's even healthier, right? So I thought I was doing the right thing. I got diagnosed with celiac disease, and so I thought, okay, I'm eating gluten-free. So that means it's healthy and I was getting the right things, but until we started having the conversation. Of what is a macro, I said, wow, that was really eye-opening to me, because when we talk about the importance of proteins and having carbs, but not any kind of carb, the fibrous carbs, and we talked about the importance of, yes, sugar is good, but you don't realize how many foods have so much sugar. And once I started to pay attention to those things, learning how to read labels on food, I thought, wow, well, no wonder I was gaining so much weight. And then the next step was, well, how am I going to put that into practice? It all sounds
real quick here. Real quick. So if you would not have interjected and been like, you know what, like this is not a really good pattern. So 15 pounds in a year, what would 5 years from now have been like? You know, if you were, you know, what do you think would have happened in the next, like, say 5 years from now with like weight or like work or just with that one aspect?
I would say definitely my health would have suffered even more. In that moment where I was sharing about the airport experience, I felt tired, and just the effort to run or walk quickly in airports, and just those basic things, I think over time would have gotten worse. And not only that, but just energy level. I think that just having the energy to do basic things would have been more difficult. And then if I think about just, let's say I want to go for a walk, something as simple as that, or even thinking of, you know, I'd like to have children. Could that have impacted as well had I not taken control of my fate?
Now, could it have potentially caused you to miss a flight if it was that tight of a time crunch?
Possibly, yes.
Kind of in a big picture, right? Like, well, I have like 10 minutes sometimes to get you off that plane. You got a boogie, and so you're like, it's like a way across the tarmac, and so and like 5 concourses over and stuff. So like directly, like it could have been something that could have happened. So okay. So we got a really good idea of where you were at before and the trajectory that you're going, where it would have affected your health. Definitely was affecting your job. How with that? So say if you, in the course of 5 years you would have gained maybe 30 pounds. How would have that affected your presence when working, especially in a different culture?
Yes, well, I did notice that as I traveled to these different locations, in general, I find most people were slim, especially when I traveled to Brazil. I found that people were active in the sense that I could see them playing sports. A lot of people walk to many places, and it was always surprising to me just how they were able to eat a lot of foods that were rich and had a lot of things like the beans and the rice and also meat based. But these folks, from my perspective, looked really fit. And so I think that was also another eye-opener for me to think, okay, am I missing something? Because clearly what I'm doing today, even though I thought it was eating healthy and because I was following my gluten-free diet, that alone would help me with my journey with nutrition.
Right, right. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you for that. It was just something, a good reflection. One of the things that I often end up, especially when getting on phone calls with people, is just trying to create that insight of like, what if, and like the potential of that. And like, if some people are stuck in their situation for 10, 20 years, that what if probably already happened and it's gotten worse. And it's really important to call that out and kind of put my finger on it and be like, hey, like, this is unacceptable, actually, especially according to your standards. And that's where it sounds like it was for you. So it's like, wait a minute, like, these people are obviously healthier than I. What is going on? I definitely missing something. So yeah. So thanks for that. With we did a lot of coaching together, and what were some of the most impactful things that have come about? Like I remember the shelf opportunity, the that a little exercise that we did. If you want to share some of the tools, coaching, and stuff that we've done together that really made some impact, I'd love to hear. I'm sure they would love to hear too.
Oh yeah, sticking on the topic of food, one recommendation you gave to me early on was, I said, Brian, sometimes late at night I just have this craving for something sweet. I've had
so many dinner, people do.
and I'm ready to go to bed, but here I am, I lie down and it's like this little something turns on and I say, why? I want like a cookie, I want some juice, I want soda. I said, why? I said, but I ate dinner. Am I not full? Yeah. And unfortunately, there were many times where I'd just get up out of bed, go down to my kitchen, and sure enough, I found that box of cookies, or I ended up having a juice. And I just felt that regret. I felt bad because I thought, well, if I didn't eat it, I'd still have that craving, and sometimes it wouldn't let me go to sleep. And then once I did, I said, okay, now I feel better, but I still feel bad because I ended up eating that.
You ended up eating it, right?
You asked me, so what could we do something instead of going to meet that that craving that you have to get your mind off of it? And the other thing you asked me to do is to think specifically in those moments what really was the root cause of me having this craving.
Right.
And so when I took the time to think about those incidents, it turns out that it was coming from either I was feeling stressed or something happened in my day where I was looking for that comfort. Okay. And for me, I learned that food was my outlet. It was my comfort source. So let's say if something great happened, I saw food as a reward. It was something that I would just naturally gravitate to. And once we started talking about nutrition and what were the key macros that I needed, I learned, well, another reason too why I'm probably craving this is because I probably haven't been eating what I need to today. And later on in our training, you shared with me that if we don't have enough protein in our diets, if we don't have enough water, if we're not eating the right types of foods, our bodies are going to be hungry.
They sure are.
The solution is not to grab that sugary treat.
No.
We ended up focusing on let's do some sort of journaling or doodling, and I did. I remember it was a couple nights after we had that discussion, and here it was. The situation presented itself, and I thought it's like having Brian in my mind. Okay, let's try this. So I did. I remember I pulled out a sheet of paper and I started just writing, and I said, I'm writing this because Brian said that I should try doodling, and so here I am writing this on a piece of paper, and then I said, okay, I'm tired of writing. So then, I started drawing something, and Brian, I think maybe I was doing this for 10, 15 minutes. I fell asleep. The light was still turned on in my room, and I remember, I can't remember what time it was, but I opened my eyes. I fell asleep with my glasses on, and I just put it to the side, and somehow I turned off the light. And when I finally got around to looking at what I drew, I thought, wow, I got pretty creative here trying to curb this sweet craving. And that was my first big win, because I said if I was able to not go down to the kitchen and grab that cookie, which is what I wanted to do, but instead I channeled that energy into something else. I said, then I know I am capable of creating new habits.
Yes, good. And that was really early on. And habit and lifestyle change is something huge that I really kind of promote with anyone I'm ever working with. A couple things there. One, I have that same sensation of wanting something sweet after eating. I'll blame it on my mom. We go way back, and my mom would treat us to what we used to call as party. And so that's what it would be called. And it happened around like 8 p.m. when we were younger, like say like 10 or something, in that age range and stuff. And so we'd have party and be a small dish of ice cream or anything. It wasn't anything like loaded, but it'd be like 2 cookies or, and it became a very reinforced habit over time. You do that for years, like you get that taste, it happens automatically. And it's just totally like brought into your taste buds and stuff. And so like, so remember doing that. And then secondly, the thing that I kind of pulled out there is like you took time. How was that in this whole process? You actually taking time, being aware, and what would that mean to you? That as I'm just asking you this now.
Looking back now on that moment, I would say it was empowering, because I was taking control. Mm-hmm. I wasn't letting I was actually in the driver's seat this time, and I said, okay, I'm doing this because I want to, and I know that this is one step in the right direction of where I want to go. And you helped me to set very clear that why am I doing this, and to have those goals in the forefront of my mind, that I'm doing this because one of the big motivators when we started this was I wanted to be at a healthy weight so that in the future I have kids. And I knew that was something that is important to me, and that I knew that if I didn't have the healthy weight, that could cause consequences in the future. And so that was the big driving force for me to say, I know this is not easy for me. I'm developing some new habits. I'm having to do something very different. One of those was the exercise that I was never one that was an athlete or did exercise consistently. The gym scared me in a way. It just, that wasn't what I would normally do. But because we set such strong goals and they were very clear, there was no other way that I would turn back. And I would say the other thing is that I knew that this was going to be the best investment that I have made ever.
Good.
I knew that at the time I said I'm taking a leap of faith, and knowing that I'm going to get to where that is because I have someone that's going to be by my side through this whole journey. And so having that first win that night said, okay, this feels good. I can do this, and let's keep going.
Right. What was another memorable moment, say like that, so you remember this very specific where you had tremendous success and it really got you over the hump? Maybe let's talk about a time where there was some struggle and you were able to lean on support and you were able to get over a difficult time that we were able to work through, and what that experience may have been.
Yeah, I'll talk about 2. One was as we had started to incorporate more exercise and I was on the road, and I think one neat thing that I appreciate about you working with me was no matter where I was in the world, if I had a gym close by, I remember I would take a picture, would send it to you. Within a couple minutes, you'd either send me a video or you'd text me a routine to do. And I recall I was in Brazil one time and had a nice gym, and I took a picture of the equipment, and you gave me a nice workout, and I said, okay, I can do this. I remember you telling me, text me a thumbs up when you're done. So I said, okay, just, say, okay, thanks, Brian, and not go there. And I remember walking in, and there were guys everywhere on that equipment. And
Okay.
so, these guys, and they're lifting weights and showing off. And, yeah, they're all huddled and not really freeing up in the equipment. But I said, okay, I can do this. I'm not going to let all these guys scare me away or intimidate me. And there I was. I waited, and in some cases I would ask, hey, are you going to be there much longer? Because I'd like to use this piece of equipment. And so I did, and I went through all the exercises that you set out for me. It was only 20 minutes. It was probably the best 20 minutes of that day because I got a great workout. Good. And in the end, when I texted that thumbs up, it was like, yeah, I did
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. That's so cool. I think if I recall, I think I know the one that you're talking about, and so yeah, yeah. I remember this one time you sent me this picture of this one machine. It's this like multiplex thing, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like, I don't quite know how. There's like 3 too many things on this one piece of equipment. It was just like, it was like a stepper band thing, and you're like, here, let's do this instead. But goodness. So what was the other one that you had?
Other one, so that would be my fitness one.
Right.
The other item would say was I reached a moment where I was under a lot of stress. And I remember that there was stress coming from all different places. And I had gotten to a point where I thought, I can't handle all of this. I literally got ill because of it. And I felt like, okay, this is it. I can't surpass this. And I remember that you walked me through, okay, let's get from this mindset where I was to say, okay, first, we talked about the shelf of opportunity.
Right.
And you helped me understand that, okay, yes, you're in this situation, but let's take a step back and let's first think about what can you do for you. So again, for me, I saw it as how can I take back the control and not let the other things that were happening at the time control my emotions or how I was feeling or reacting or how my body was reacting. And it was very powerful to actually draw on a piece of paper a shelf and books, and with each book I labeled something that I was going to do. One of them was to go watch a movie. I hadn't watched a movie in a long time. Another one was to just have some quiet
real
time.
Quick, it wasn't just a movie, it was you actually going to the movie theater, right? And that whole experience, right? Yeah, because that's different. Like, I can watch a movie on my phone right after, but that's not going to the theater or anything. So you treated yourself. What was the other stuff that you did?
I got a massage. I remember just set aside some time to talk with my mom. With traveling and being in lots of different places, didn't have that much time to spend talking to Mom. One of them was going on a hike with you, just getting outside. And
you're local to me, so we had that opportunity.
Yeah. Just being outside, being in nature, just a way to clear the mind. And so with all of those activities, then the other item that you recommended was create a brag list.
Yes.
To write all the things that I feel good about myself. And I thought, well, that's at first I thought, well, what can I say? And then I just started writing, and soon enough I had a list. And then on the flip side, you recommended now write a gratitude list. What are you thankful for? Right. And I remember, I started with my list, and then each day after I did these types of activities, my list grew and grew and grew. And so those things just helped me realize, okay, this is not it. This is not something that's going to keep me from going on and achieving my goals and not feeling the way that I was at the time. And really cool analogy that you gave me was to imagine that I was going up on stage and that the curtain was going to open and that all eyes would be on me. And it was up to me to decide what message was I going to share with those. Right. Was it going to be one where I was stressed or timid, or was I going to be confident and in control and share what it is that I want, and
Yeah.
and not be afraid to do that. And
Right.
so that was very empowering for me. And I would probably say that had it not been for your coaching, I would have stayed stuck. And
Right.
it definitely required having someone to say, here, I'm right here with you. I'm going to help you in that time when you feel stuck. And let's
Right.
stand up and walk forward. And
Right.
during the course of our, when I came and worked out with you, we got to talking about Brene Brown and
Right.
how some of the
Love Brene.
were very inspiring. And so that particular moment inspired me to read Brene Brown's Rising Strong book. And so just the activities that we did, and all the things that she talks about in her book just gave me that fuel that I needed, that drive. And I remember,
Right.
too, that it was during that time where I wasn't necessarily eating the way I knew I was supposed to. I wasn't getting as much rest, and I wasn't doing a lot of exercise. And so those things also, because I wasn't doing them, it did take a toll on me. And I was able to clearly see that because I had seen what it was like to not have it, and now I did.
And you
And
did
so
have it, right?
Yes, and I knew that it was possible to get back in the driver's seat and keep going forward.
Right. Right. Yes, you are in the driver's seat, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You're driving, yeah.
Yeah.
What were some distinctive wins? Things that you like ever recall? What you wanted your mother to get you for? I think it was Christmas or your birthday.
Yeah.
The boots. We talked about the boots on the short
Yeah.
promo.
Yeah.
And maybe anything else along that line was just like a distinctive like physical win for you that you recall.
Yes. I turned 30 this year, or last year, I should say. And so it was very important for me I wanted to fit in a certain type of outfit by the time I turned 30. And so you and I worked together such that by the time I got to that milestone, I could. So that was a big win for me. I remember I was able to buy a dress that never before did I think that I could wear, because I always had the thing of, I'm a pear shape, so there is no way that I can wear any dress that's not A-line. And that's just something that stuck with me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to see if I can fit in a dress
Try
that's
it
not
on.
A-line. And I tried it on, and I said, and I'm even going to try a size that I know I've not fit into since I was in high school.
Oh, wow.
I very bravely got that dress, got in the dressing room, and I was surprised. I was like, okay, maybe the zipper's only going to stop, halfway. But no, it finally closed up, and I thought, wow.
It went all the way up.
Yes, and I said, wow, I'm going to celebrate this birthday wearing this dress that I never thought I'd be able to wear this type of dress again.
That's awesome.
So that was big. Then the next shopping trip came in the fall. I love boots, but ever since I started to buy that type of shoe, I would always have to search for wide, because I just thought, I'm a person with wide calves. I'm just never going to be able to change that, and I just took it as is. I never thought that it would be possible for me to buy boots that were not wide. And so I remember I was at the store, and it was around the time of a really good sale, and I saw these pair of boots, and I said, oh, these are really cute. I have to try these on. And I remember the attendant bringing those boots, and I tried them on, and sure enough, was able to zip them on. I had some jeans underneath, and I felt great. And even better when came time to pay for them, and they were half off.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember the normal size boots, and they were half off. That's a big win, definitely. And then the gift from your mother.
Yeah, and that one, my mom was saying, she's like, well, what would you like for Christmas? And I said, Mom, I don't really have any PJs that fit anymore. She says, what do you mean? I said, well, yeah, they're all baggy. I said, Mom, I only have one pair right now that kind of fits. And I think really soon it's not going to fit anymore. And she says, okay, I think we can do something about that. And I remember it was Black Friday, and we went pajama shopping. And I've never been as excited to shop for pajamas that were a size medium and a size small. Yes. And I started to notice they have some really cute designs. Like I never even looked at those things because in the past that they wouldn't fit. I always thought I would be a size large in the pants, and here I was buying size medium pants for pajamas, and I was just as happy as could be.
Yeah, right.
To have my full set of pajamas. And the other one was to get really excited to buy new workout clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Workout clothes that I wore when I started working with you, they weren't truly workout clothes. They were just these sweatpants that I had that were just stored somewhere in the closet, and that's what fit at the time. And eventually they got too loose, and it was in that same shopping trip where we went to get workout clothes, and I got some new tennis shoes, and I wanted everything to coordinate. And I said, yeah, this is awesome. I can have tennis shoes that'll match this outfit and that outfit. I never thought I'd get excited about buying workout clothes.
Yes, it's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so great. So yeah, those are some distinctive wins physically.
Yes.
So it sounds like, and then maybe, so it started out, you were, okay. So it started off that you were going to coming to me for exercise and fitness, and so it sounds like we covered a lot more.
Yeah, I would say that that was just the beginning. It was the beginning of opening the door of possibilities, of finding that courage and that confidence that was not there before. And because of having a new perspective and seeing not only the physical change but also the mind change, that mind shift of I don't have to have things limit me, and I can take control, and I can go after the things that I want. That was very powerful, and that influenced my professional life. It influenced my personal life, and I'd say that this is something that will serve me well for the rest of my life. Good. Because I've built the courage and the confidence to stand up for me, to want the best for myself, because if I want to do the things that I want to do and enjoy life and get to do what it is that I want besides my professional life, it's going to require a healthy body, a healthy mind, and so this was more than just okay, Esmeralda, you're going to learn how to eat healthy and you're going to achieve your weight goal. It was you're being transformed, and it was noticed. I didn't realize how noticeable it was until I met up with friends I hadn't seen for a long time. They said, wow, you look like you've lost a lot of weight. And they said, well, what have you done? And I said, well, I've just been watching what I eat and exercise, and I've got a trainer. He was like, well, you've got an awesome trainer, they said. Because I know of another friend who has a trainer, but gosh, they don't look like what you've gone through. And I said, well, I do have a really good coach.
I try,
So, this just opened my eyes to things that I never even thought I could do, like with the clothing, or even saying, yes, I can create the life that I want. I am the author of my life. And it's not just with my nutrition. It's with what I want to do, with my family, with my professional life. And so as a result of that, yes, I am now going into a different role at work, one that is not going to have traveling as much,
Right.
but still doing something that I enjoy and something that's challenging that I will enjoy doing. And so just thinking now about what's coming up next, when I think about it, it's exciting. Why? Because everything that you've taught me and that we've gone through, I'm excited to share that with my future family. I just think, why didn't I do this sooner?
That's always with everything, right? I didn't do it sooner. Why did I wait? I don't know why. Yep.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it takes us getting to a critical point to say, I have to change, and recognizing that you do get to that critical point, that breaking point, sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So I started off as a personal trainer, and I was just working out, and it was all about the workout. So if you would have met me at that point in time in my life, in my career, over easily a decade ago, we would have went to the gym, worked out, and it was like give you the best workout. And then I finally started realizing, there's a lot more to this. Like it's the nutrition piece. It's the so then I was just kind of like, okay, exercise and try and learn as much about nutrition as I could, all the things that I could. And then I'm like going along, and I'm like, wait, there's another piece here. It's like a lot of like the mindset stuff, the building the confidence, the inner self-esteem to be able to overcome these issues, because everyone has issues with motivation, willpower, having a stressful day can shut you down, or turning to that food that in a stressful time that you end up eating and it derails you. Those are things that happens to me too. But the point is where the most successful clients that I have, they figure out how to shift from that state of feeling like that to the state of empowerment. And that's where we actually spend a lot of our time working, because just as you said early on, it's just if these are these strong commitments that you're making for yourself, then you're going to become congruent with it, right? You're going to be doing the exercise, you're going to be doing the nutrition, and it's not going to be hard. It's not going to be this diet or that diet. It's not going to be 18 different exercise programs or whatever. You're going to live out what it is that you want, and you're going to get those results because they're going to come naturally, because again, congruency. And so that becomes one thing, and even the mindset. So we overcome these strong negative pulses that come into people's lives, and we can shut those down. Pity party should last 5 minutes, and then we need to get on with life. And so if you can do that and overcome these serious times, then boom, you have instant power to create the motivation, to create the change, create the things that you want and desire in your life. So I've seen that in you, and that's one of the reasons why I brought you on. I'm really excited to have been able to share all this with you. Is there anything that we missed that you wanted to share else? Everything so far has been just awesome, and I've really enjoyed listening. I hope that everyone else has too. Jen had mentioned that you influenced others' lives too, and I told you that, and I even told Dana, I'm like, watch out, this was weeks ago, right? This was 3-4 months ago. Hey, just so you know, your story is going to be empowering others to step up, to raise their level, to raise their standards, and to live a better life for what they have and stuff. Even in Jen's life, I think some of the underlying movement for her to, as a catalyst, may have been hearing some of the stuff from you. And you're like, well, if Esmeralda can do it, so can I. And therefore, then she shifts in her world and creates bigger, better opportunity for herself. And, ultimately, as I've been going through all this stuff for the years, it's that's the benefits that I'm after. I'm personally my inner game, or my inner catch, or whatever motive. Yeah, that's the best word. My inner motive is to bring that out of you. Tap into it, tap into your own power, so you can live a confident, fulfilled life that's going to serve you far, far from now. Let's check out 20 years later from now, and you're still employing some of the things that we shifted from you at this critical point in your life. So when you're 50, you have kids, you're in a committed, exciting, fun relationship. You're enjoying your career, you're making good money, like you're experiencing life to its fullest. Not, oh, I'm gonna turn 50 this year, like I better just identify with getting older. Like so many people do that and you shut down. So that's my motive is the benefits that come from the weight loss. And if it took me a while to figure this out, but I finally was like, you know what? Boom. It's the weight loss. That's where I start with people. That's where we create physical change, because as soon as we can create that physical change of weight loss, getting stronger, working out, then you can raise your confidence goes up naturally, and you just feel better. You've got more energy to do more stuff with and stuff. So I finally figured that out. So,
and I would add that you were real, because we talked one time about going on vacation. It's like, well, what if today I want to enjoy, we talked about pancakes one time. I remember I thought, what if I want to have a stack of pancakes on a Saturday morning? Like, is that going to ruin everything else in the day? No, it's not. I can't have my stack of pancakes, but I know that was going to be so many amount of carbs that I can have in the day, and I just had to be careful of what I ate the rest of the day, that I would supplement it with the right amount of proteins, and so it wasn't something that was not that I couldn't do. That there are some days where I may not be able to get in my exercise, but I'll be watch what I eat, or on this day, I worked out, I did this and that, and so yes, if I want to have an extra slice of this, or have a little bit more of this, that's okay. And so you made this real. It wasn't like, okay, you have to follow this formula, and if you get outside of it, okay, then it's the end. And that as we were going through the exercise, I did have my knee sometimes gave out on me, and so I wasn't able to do some of the exercise with my knee, but instead we focused on upper body. We focused on something else to give my knee that time to heal. And having been a person who was not an athlete and didn't have that, I realized too that my body was going through a lot of change, and sometimes my will and my drive to get to this, do all these types of exercises, my body wasn't going at the same rate as I was. Just over time, I'm saying, okay, this is not a hurdle. I can get through this. And all the good things are still coming.
Yes. There's so many more good things coming your way, and I'm so excited to share that with you. I think we could probably start wrapping this up. You've done awesome. Dana just joined us, so shout out to Dana. I love her, and then she's been a huge inspiration for a lot of people as well. In closing, what would go back to when you were where you were at before we even met? Even go back maybe 6 months prior to that, and thinking of just being really unmotivated, just keep gaining weight, just kind of feeling hopeless. You've tried this, that, and the other. What would you tell someone in that situation? Because you probably felt it too. It's just well, nothing's ever going to work. This is just going to be how it is. I'm just going to gain 2 to 3, 4 pounds a year, and I'm going to gain 20 pounds, 30 pounds by the time I'm 50 or whatever, and I'm just going to be overweight and no energy. And life's going to be what it is, because the wind blows and it just blows me wherever. What would you tell someone that's sitting there?
I would tell them that you deserve to give yourself a chance. You deserve to invest in yourself, and that's the best gift you can give yourself is the gift of not only health, but taking that charge back, that it's not the outside things that are going to influence you or that are going to dictate what's going to happen in your life or even with your health, that we are capable of taking charge, of making that change, and that it's not worth staying stuck, and that in fact our opportunities are endless, and they're out there. They're just waiting for us to stand up and say, I'm here and I'm ready to take charge and be in control and be in that driver's seat. And the resources are there, but I think the first step is saying, I'm here and I'm ready. I'm ready to do something for me.
Yep. Yeah, you know what? There's three things that I require of the clients I work with, and you've fulfilled those greatly. So, coachable. You listen to what is said. You learn. You pivot. You adapt, and we have a very good communication back and forth. And so you showed up coachable, and that's what I want from all my clients. Like, I've worked with people that just show up and like, well, it's not working, I'm done, like, well, wait a minute here, like, there's so many other things that we need to start addressing to make sure that you get through it. And so, like, I need everyone to be coachable. You, Dana, like, the other clients that I'll be bringing on as well are coachable. Second one is decisive. You knew it was time to change. You could not take any longer. You felt stuck for too long. You had to shift. Like, it was unbearable to that point. And you're like, you know what? Like, it's go time. It's time for me. No more putting every single person in my career and all this stuff ahead of myself. Like, it's time. I say yes to myself. And you did that, and Dana did that so well. It's just like, it's time for me, yes to myself, and I'm going forward. And then last one is resourceful. So resourceful in all sorts of different ways is one, like, we had the knee issue come up, or, like, some people give up their whole exercise program because, you don't have three other limbs or anything that you can still move, but, they just get worn down from that. Or, the classic, well, I messed up and it's Wednesday night, so I might as well start again on Monday. And, like, well, what about the other 3 days or something between there? Like, well, how about the next meal? We can just get back going. So being resourceful in the times of doubt, insecurity, self-esteem, or like courage, or just stress of life. Like, everyone lives stress. And it's important how you deal with that stuff. And then resourcefulness in, like you said, investing in yourself. Like, so many people are going to go out and they'll buy the $49 thing. I'm in a bookstore. So, like, go back here. Like, there is so many books here that you can go buy for $20, for $10, for the bargain discount. You can get magazines for $3 or whatever. But the problem is that it's not offering the support and accountability that I love to provide for my clients and stuff. And through our talk today, really showed that. And so, like, resourceful in investing in yourself, resourceful in the times of need and the times that you need to step up and do stuff. And you can call on your power to do that because you're invested in yourself and I'm invested in you, right? Like you said, like, you're in another country and you're like, Brian, here's my picture of my gym. And I'd send you a workout, right? It was that easy. And like, you probably wouldn't have thought of that in the past, or that even being a possibility. It was just like, yeah, just take a picture, send it, and we'll send you a workout. No big deal. Like, whatever. So yeah, those are the three things that I'm really always looking for people. And those are the three things that you really exempted well and exuded and stuff. And so I'm just really excited that you said yes to yourself, and we've been able to experience such drastic change in your world. And it's only the beginning. And because why? Because I'm going to keep pushing. I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm like, all right, Esmeralda, we're knocking these things out. What's next? What's next? And when you have someone there to push you and get you accountable and get you to think outside of your own box, like, that's when magic happens. That's when transformation happens. That's when creating a new lifestyle happens. So thank you so much for not only this time, this hour, but like just your responsiveness, your positive attitude, your I can do this, and getting it done. So I really appreciate that, and I know whoever watches this in the future is going to appreciate it too, because they're going to get that from it. They're going to be like, well, Esmeralda did it, so why can't I? I just need to figure out what that looks like and get going for it and stuff. So any last things from you?
Well, first, thank you. Thank you. I would say that not only are you my coach, but you're my friend
Yeah.
and someone that has helped me in times where I I didn't know that if I could get back up. You gave me that encouragement when I needed it most, and especially with a type of lifestyle and routine that I had never dealt with before, and you were there at all times, whether it was through the video, a phone call, or even when we met in person. All of that really helped me, and I'm thankful for that. And just to everyone who's watching, just it's worth it to go through this and to say yes to yourself, and you will be amazed at what comes about in small incremental steps. But one day you'll look in the mirror and you'll say, "Wow, this is me. I did all of
Yeah.
this," and
Yeah.
you'll see things with a different perspective, with new eyes, and it just we're so lucky to have this life that we can do these awesome things. And why not give yourself that chance to say, yes, I'm going to do this for
Right.
me because I want to live my best life.
Right. Yep. Beautiful. Well said. We should go out on that. So thank you so much, Esmeralda, for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story, being open, honest, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate your hard work and stuff. So we're gonna send you off. Have a wonderful evening. I'm gonna go get back with the kids, and I'm sure my wife's waiting on me and stuff. So thank you for your time. I hope women, if you see this, you're inspired. You know, it's time to take action. You know. All right. Thank you, and good night, Esmeralda.
Bye, Brad.